What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, it's been a long day, man. I tell you what, it's been a long day, and it's kind of crazy. Just got back home, 350 miles of driving, fixed some bricks, framed up some walls, put in an electric panel, ready for inspection, and drove back home. And I'm back home, and tonight we're supposed to have a frost warning. What happened to this year? This year has just been flying by, and something that's kind of crazy that's flown by. Doesn't it seem like it was yesterday that Dak Prescott broke his hand? They said 6 to 8 weeks. This is 6 weeks. Or this is the seventh game, which is 6 weeks. Didn't it seem like that time it just flew by? So the good news is Dak is now medically cleared. He's medically cleared to be able to resume practice. Practice starts tomorrow for the week. You know, it's kind of crazy because really Monday is, basically evaluation of where your body is and treatment and stuff like that, film study. Tuesday's the off day, and then it's Wednesday and Thursday are the two big practices. Friday is the recovery day. Saturday is the travel day, walkthrough and travel day, and then Sunday's the game. And with it being a 1 o'clock game and stuff, they got basically 3 practices to see where Dak is and whether or not he's going to be able to play. But I have a feeling that Dak Prescott's going to play. You're probably wondering, if you just got home, why are you outside? Shout out to my beautiful wife, because I was sitting there listening to the news coming up, and they're saying that, it's a frost freeze warning tonight. And it was kind of cold today. It was so cold that I wore a sweatshirt. And it was about 42 when I got down the country, and the wind was blowing, so it was kind of a wind chill. I'm like, it's cold. We went out and got some gloves to work with, but by the time I started working, I started sweating like crazy and stuff. Anyway, but I came out here because we have these fruit punch hibiscus plants that have been doing great, and we got a couple of big hibiscus plants that I want to bring inside before the frost warning. But my wife is already, and my daughter have already gotten in the small ones. I just need to get the big ones. But anyway, moving right along. I didn't get that much content out today because I'm, again, on the road. Power rankings. So the Cowboys are sitting by NFL.com. And I'm going to lean a little bit here because I'm tired. By NFL.com, the Cowboys are 7th at 4-2. The loss to the Eagles hasn't seemed to hurt the Cowboys a lot, because they looked at it and say, well, you're playing the best team in football. Yes, Eagles, I said, right now you have to be considered the best team in football. You beat us. You beat Minnesota Vikings that only have 1 loss, and you're undefeated. So at the moment, okay, at the moment, 6 games in, there's still 11 more to go. You are the best team in football, which of course is subject to change. It was funny because last week before the games, they talked about the 49ers. They said the winner of the Cowboys-Eagles game will be number 1 in the NFC, followed by the San Francisco 49ers, and then whoever loses the Cowboys and the Eagles game. That's what they said. But then San Fran loses to Atlanta. Atlanta, mind you, which is a better team than what people thought. They got rid of Matty Ice. And this is kind of a strange thing that's happened to some teams. Matty Ice, who's been a really good quarterback for Atlanta for a number of years, and they bring in Mariota. And right now they're 3-3. They're at 500. That's better than they usually are. That's pretty good. So they actually are doing better. Matty Ice goes to the Colts. Well, they're 3-2-1. They're really about the same place they were with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, of course, goes to Washington, and he's got a broken hand, and he's on the Dak plan where he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Now it's Tyler Heineke. Heineke will be starting. Rio's worst nightmare. Rio, how you doing, bro? Son, how you doing, Rio? Rio, Rio, I told you, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you bring in, Rio. It don't matter. Look at all the quarterbacks that have been through there. You had Donovan McNabb. You had RG3. You had Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was smart and said, you know what? I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out before I get killed. You had Alex Smith. You didn't had Josh Johnson. You didn't had Colt McCoy. You drafted Haskins. You had Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, now you're like, oh man, we got a former second pick in the draft. You know, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is the best thing we'd had. Oh yeah. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. He made it longer than Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'll give you that. He didn't make it as long as Alex Smith, but at least he's not injured as bad. But now here's the other part of the equation that's kind of interesting. The week before, the Cowboys, I think, were 12. And right in front of them was the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that they beat and actually had a worse record. The Cowboys were 4-1. Cincinnati was 2-3, or something like that, or 3-1. Cincinnati, I can't remember, but it was Cincinnati was a game behind, plus they lost to the Cowboys. But the rankings had Cincinnati ahead of the Cowboys. They've kind of corrected that. Now the New York Giants, who do have one more win than we do, interesting thing, the New York Giants are 5th in their rankings. The Cowboys, we beat them. So either you think that the Giants are a really good team, and that says a lot of things for our Cowboys, that we're the only team that's beat them, or they're just throwing shade at us. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is what it is. So, Dak Prescott will be back at practice tomorrow. I know we talking about practice, not the game. Not the game that I love. We talking about practice. And we're still ranked in the top 10. Number 7. I was actually surprised and shocked by that one. I figured the loss to the Eagles would have kicked us out of the top 10 and maybe somewhere around 13 or 14. But surprisingly, they still have us up there. Although I guess because there's so many teams that are 3-3, you know, when you look at the Rams, you look at the Packers, you look at Tampa Bay. The thing that's interesting more than anything else, it seems like, one, points are way down. Quarterbacks are getting killed. It seems like speed is in on the defense, which is why the quarterbacks are getting killed. And quarterbacks are struggling. Aaron Rodgers is struggling. Kyler Murray's struggling. Jared Goff is actually doing pretty good. But Matthew Stafford is struggling. A lot of the Tom Brady struggling. A lot of the big name quarterbacks are struggling this year. So it's a long season, and we'll see where it goes. And I think I've got, I got a couple more fruit punches down there that I got to get up here so that way they don't freeze tonight. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I appreciate you guys.